Hello guys, today we want to view one of the game in Tata Steel 2024. It is one of the greatest and one of the most amazing games that played in that tournament. It was played between Parham Maghsoodloo and Gukesh. So, okay, let's go through the game very quickly. So, you start. The Parhams actually start the game with d4. We have knight to f6, c4, e6, knight to f3, d5, knight to c3, bishop e4, and it is of interesting that in this position white has a lot of choices here, but one of them is actually bishop g5, one of them is just immediate e3. Okay, so one of them is bishop e5, one of them is e3, sorry, and one of them is actually queen f4, which is actually, I call it the best move here in this position because it has some purposes. The aim of queen a4 is that we are just attacking the bishop and we are also just taking the king. So black has to play knight to c6 here, okay? If knight to c6 will just be played, then we are actually just avoiding the move c5 from black. Black actually is in this kind of a structure wants to play c5, attacking the white center and have a good position here, okay? But actually by playing queen to a4, we are just avoiding it. So Parham actually played this. We have queen a4, as I said, e3 just jazz bishop e2 is one of the normal lines. But the best I call it queen to just to a4. Yeah. And after knight to c6, we have now the move e3, captures, and now queen has done its job on a4 and is a useless push on a4. Why my queen has to be on a4 like that? So queen goes back on c2, controlling this diagonal, and is also maybe such position right that we just want to play the break e4. Okay, so let's go to the game. Queen c2. So b6 from Gukesh and bishop d2. I'm playing the knight and maybe also threatening the move a3 here. And Gukesh goes rook to e8. What is the purpose of that move? Is that after the move a3, black has space. See, it was in the last move, the rook was on f8, so black couldn't move his bishop to f8 square. So he gets his rook away to bring back his piece to f8. After this bishop f8, yeah, we have c chapters on d5. Black simply recaptures that. And here Parham played the immediate move bishop d3, which was actually the main move in the game. But maybe a better try was actually to, and actually in, as you remember, as I said in was the purpose of the queen a4 was to prevent black from getting his best structure by playing c5. Okay, black wanted to play c5, but we went queen to a4. Sorry, we went queen to a4, preventing the move c5. Okay, so we kind of put black in best structure. Okay, that is in ideal position. Okay, and now here also at the chapter chapters, white Parham actually could have played bishop b5, and then if bishop b7, if not bishop b7 or bishop d7 to protect the knight, then we just go back on d3. Okay, and okay, this is the core position for both pieces and both players. No advantage, but Parham actually goes for the immediate bishop d3 move. After bishop d3, knight to e7 from Gukesh, he wants to play the move c5 now. c5 he wants to play at the center. Parham goes the knight to e5. Richard delaying this move to be played. Now if you play c5 here, white has bishop b5, attacking the rook, and exchange some pieces here. Okay, so after c5, bishop b5, chapters, and white gets the bishop pair and just simply castles. It's a straighter better for white this position. So uh, this move for a6 just was played, and as you can see that this knight on e5 is doing a great job controlling the squares around the black pieces. So black tries in the future to eliminate this knight. So and Parham after the move a6 goes for the immediate attack with the move g4. I have to notice that this pawn on g4 is not touchable. If you just take, you just get mated in two. I give you chance to figure out. After here, yeah, as you said, I know, bishop takes h7, and after just here, you just take this mate not even forcing the king, okay, you just win one mate. Okay, so the pawn on g4 is untouchable here. Black, which is actually tries to try g6 to not retreat the move knight takes on g4 here. Now his threat is knight takes chapters on g4, so Parham accurately defends this with the move f2. We don't and we don't go h3 guys. Okay, h3 is a bad move because f3 just simply defends this pawn and we just want to go h4, not h3. If you go h3, it's a little ridiculous, you know? f3, then h4, not h3 to defend this one and what then? It's just drain the attack. So f3 just was played, c5, attacking white center, so castles, and here Gukesh plays knight to d7, challenges Parham's knight here. As I said, it's just controlling a lot of the squares. So, and here Parham goes for a, I don't call it as brilliant, but something as call it reasonable sacrifice. For he sacrifices his knight for the f7 pawn, takes on f7, but a good continuation for white could be h4, knight takes on e5, e takes d3, takes back on e5, bishop g7, we have h4 the attack, and if black goes greedy and just takes this, white even gets the advantage, but hg, and here the amazing move knight to e4, and it's and if you notice that if white actually understands the idea of the power of this open fire, okay, then just easily sacrifices his rook, but he easily sacrifices his pieces by playing to knight to e4. If black takes, now we have the move, the amazing move, bishop to c3. If black takes, we just avoid our queen. We just avoid it. Okay, take it. I just made you. How? If yeah, there's this have made. Okay, so this could be a continuation here for sorry. So, but Parham actually goes for knight takes on f7, which is call it as maybe blunder. Okay, in this position. Sorry. So knight takes on f7, king captures on f7. We have h4. After the move b5, we have h5, threatening to take the pawn on g6. After c4, bishop to f1 gets played, but a better idea is actually could be another piece sacrifice by playing bishop g6. If h takes on g6, then we have the amazing move and deflecting move, which can make white strike better, is knight takes d5 here. And if black captures, we just capture it back. After king to h7, we have just h6. We are going to just promote this pawn. If just black decides to rotate, then our rook is in the game also, and we are just threatening mate. So it could be a little difficult for Gukesh to actually defend this kind of difficult position. Okay, so the best move for him could be queen b6. After queen g5, knight to f6 is a bad idea because you are just allowing me to just go h7. After h7, you have no good way to actually prevent this pawn from queening that. So after here, I just promote, and it is plus 3 for white in this position. So a better try could be king to d6, and after h7, bishop e7, rook h6, knight 7 to f6. We have the move e5. We are threatening to take here. You can take back with the knight because your actually knight is pinned, and the threats, we have a lot of threats here. We have this, we have this, we have this, as I said, we have this. So a lot of threats for whites here. So a better try for black could be here king to g8, which is winning for him, but it is very difficult to find. You know, going back, why am I going back here? I'm crazy. Do I want to suicide? You know, what? What? Okay, so okay, but and actually, computer here, as I said, bishop g6 was a possibility here. Another possibility was just take hg, and another possibility that is actually computer suggesting it is bishop to e2, but I just mentioned that why Parham didn't actually play this move here, because in the future he want to, after bishop to f1, maybe bishop goes away like this, and actually this was played. The queen gets on the h file and maybe infiltrates the black position. So as I said, he played the bishop f1, which is not a bad move. And we can maybe call it an inaccuracy. So After bishop g7, a good move. We have e4 breaking the center. If the opponent king is in the middle and it's paused, you just open the center. Okay, you must open the center to attack the king. We have the move knight to f8. Just takes. If just takes bishop to e3, and we have rook g8, rook b8. So I must just notice that your bishop to d4 is not good for black here, because after bishop takes e4 we just take on pawn on d5. We have a balanced position here, and we are just facing a lot of things, a lot of stuff in this position. So knight to f8, 8 chapters on g6, 8 chapters back. And we have the move bishop e3. What was the purpose of that move? Of Actually, that is why that Parham played bishop to f1, not bishop to e2, because he is bringing his queen on the h5 here. Okay, so uh, actually bishop h6 maybe could be a better try. Uh, but he played bishop e3, not a bad move. Okay, so as I said, this is bad. So knight f8 takes. There are a lot of moves. As I said, bishop g2 is just bad because it just takes and just takes, and uh, there are now at least balanced. Okay, so but Param plays the move bishop to e3, threatening to go on the queen h2 and control the h5 here. So after rook to b8, and now here Gukesh wants to create his counter play with the move b4 here. This pawn should be pushed. If you are attacking my king, I shouldn't wait. Okay, I must also attack your king. So Gukesh tries that idea. We have queen to h2 threatening to take the rook on b8. So rook b7 just will be played. We have bishop to e2. Now Parham says to him, it is not a good idea. Bishop e2 is not a good move here, actually. A better idea could be bishop h6. As you know, or most of you know that this bishop is always doing a great job defending the king. So we should eliminate this, and with this elimination, the king's safety is actually a little less, and we can attack it. Okay, so it could be a better idea to go just bishop h6 right away immediately to remove that bishop here. But bishop e2 was played. The purpose of that move is actually, okay, Sparrow maybe said to himself that I just activated my queen in the best way, and now I just want to go here and maybe just to activate my roots, connect my roots together. So, okay, bishop to e2, actually we can call it a blunder after b4, which is just chapters very in a great way. Rook takes on b4 here, and now we have bishop to h6, and here which is also makes an blunder by playing bishop takes h6. Okay, a better move for him is queen to a5. After king to c2, we have queen to b6 attacking the pawn. So let's see. After here, queen to b6 attacking the pawn could be a better idea for him. Now contested is let's go back with bishop c1. Okay, so after here we have just bishop captures on d4. So, but Gukesh doesn't play that. Queen a5 moves, so plays the move bishop h6 check. So it's check, just check. So white has to capture back. So and now here he goes queen a5. We have king to c2, queen b6, queen f4, and here very interesting idea is that Brad doesn't pay attention and just writes this check with bishop to f5, bishop to f5, huh? And now if the point is that the point is that if white if you let's start from the simple ways. Okay, if white captures on f5 anyways, it gets made it. Okay, but when rook takes b2 after king to c1, queen to b3 threatening to mate, and also just take after maybe rook h7. Knight takes knight captures on a. It's someone drain the mate. After here, maybe here, okay, just king d7, queen e6, just, white has no good ways to stop the mate, so he starts to sacrificing the pieces, okay, and eventually just get mated very soon, so, but, here actually if white actually tries rook to b1 to defend this pawn and then just to take on f5, black has an idea of playing g5. If white takes, then we have knight to e6, also threatening the queen and threatening to take the pawn on d4. So let's see it. After rook b1, g5, it takes knight to e6, and just game over. Okay. After here, we just take, and white is completely dead in this position. So a better idea could be bishop f5, and a best move that Gukesh unfortunately didn't play that was, and it is also fearsome to go king to g7, which is the second best move. After king to g7, black has an advantage here. Okay, if you play here, I just play king to f7, and maybe here, but this is also passive and has a problem maybe of just taking the pawn, and the white pawn are getting very dangerous in this position. So I should also notice that white has not this move, rook h7, because knight just captures on h7. If king captures, it will just take, but the problem is that knight captures on h7. So he goes the human move, king to e6, and now Parham could have actually exploited this move by playing the brilliant b3 move. Brilliant b3. He played rook b1, yes, but b3 could save the game for him. If c captures on b3, we just actually go behind the pawn. Okay, behind the pawn, or king is very safe here. So, what happens? The question is, what happens after rook takes on b3? After rook captures on b3, we have knight to f4. And Here we have just protected this square. We are just hitting the queen. We are just going to check this king, and it's already equal. You can't read it, but it is equal now. And after rook to c3, which is best move, we have knight captures on c3, queen takes on b3. We have king d2, queen b2 check, king e1, queen takes c3, king f2, and the game continues like this. Okay, so but Parham couldn't play the b3 move. Okay, we have rook to b1 defending this pawn. And here Gukesh plays the move king to d7, trying to run away. King watch. Okay, so we have e captures on d5, bishop b7, best move from Gukesh. Queen to f7. We are just threatening to go knight to e4 and knight to c5, knight to f6 in some points. Okay, and here Gukesh played the move rook to b8, uh, setting up a little small trap for Parham Maghsoodloo here. For example, if white plays the move, imagine that it puts just pressure on this knight, then black has this tactical idea of just taking, takes, then bishop d5 exclamation. After this, you just check this. And if you just take, I just take back and forth. It's completely winning. So it was setting this trap, little trick for Maghsoodloo. So Karam didn't actually go in the best way defending this trick and tried to somehow deflect the queen. So he went d6 here. The point of d6 from Maghsoodloo was actually now you can't play rook takes b2 because your knight on e2, e7 is also so after here. White has this, just that, okay? So the point of d6 was this to prevent actually black from sacrificing on b2 and taking the queen back on f7 with bishop d5 check. So better try for him could be bishop b3, c takes b3, then we just hide between, behind the pawn, but it is still winning for black. Instead, he went for the d6 move. Queen takes d6. We have now d5 in this position. Okay? And now he's just threatening to just go knight to e4, knight to f6. And here a brilliant defense for Gukesh could be g5. I think that Gukesh actually find the best move here by uh, move elimination here, because if I put it this position for you and say move for black, black has not very good moves here. Should defend accurately to win the game easily. Okay, it is already -3 for black, but if it doesn't find the best moves, then just simply just mate it or just white wins the game very easily. So We should notice that this is not at all working. Okay, not at all. Because if stage we have this here, and we just made so. And I think that Kuchek found it by move elimination and played the move bishop to a8, which is actually the second best move in this position. The first best move is very cute, very amazing. G5. Now if you go knight to e4, I go queen to g6. I pin your knight to the king, pin the knight to the king, also threaten to exchange the queens. So after queen takes on g6, we have knight takes back on g6, and black is a piece up and wins the game very easily. So Gukesh actually played bishop a8 here. Okay, if queen to e5, then the problem could be f4 here. Queen to d4, we have the move hd1. So, but Gukesh understands that deeply and plays the second best move, bishop to a8. We have rook h8 to take the knight on f8. And here Gukesh understands this position very deeply and goes for bishop d5, knight takes d5, queen takes d5, and now Maghsoodloo said to himself that okay, I just play rotates on f8, rotates on f8. What is your follow-up, Mr. Gukesh? But Gukesh understood his position very deeply, and Maghsoodloo was just shocked. After this, Gukesh played the quiet move somehow. Quiet move queen to e5, and now he's just threatening a lot of things here. This is the threat, this is the threat. And here Parham Maghsoodloo actually continued the game by playing king to d1, defending the bishop and somehow getting away of the check. So we have rook takes f8, but Gukesh actually just could just terminate the game by playing c3 here. So sorry, c3 could be just a terminating move. The threat is not to take. So the threat is sorry. The threat is not to take this pawn. The threat is to play the move c2. Okay, so actually if white goes here, then c2. After just takes, and just takes, and 2 3. This is just sorry. After here it's just mate. So but Gukesh played the move rook takes on f8. We have queen takes f8, then now c3. After king to e1, rook takes on b2. If black captures that pawn, then this pawn is not stoppable. Okay? This is just promoting to a coin and winning the game. So Parham tried rook d1 check. And now again a quiet move. King to e6. What is your attacks? You have no attack because if you go just queen c8, we just take back on c8. Okay? And in this position, Parham decides to actually I should resign again, and you cannot do anything about this position. So this is the end of the video, and thanks for watching the video. Please like and comment on the video, and see you next time soon. Goodbye for now.